Help at hand. If you're in care, you're leaving care, you're living away from home, or working with children's services, we can offer you free advice and support on any child rights problem you have. We are a team of specialist child rights advisors and will help in any way we can. We can give you advice, get you an advocate. An advocate is someone who helps you to communicate to the people in your life what you want and need. Or we can talk to or write to the people in charge of working with you and make sure they listen to what you want and need. You, or someone who knows you, can phone us, email us, or send us a message on our website.
Help at hand.
After you've asked for help, we can talk to you by text, email, video call, or on the phone. You can choose which would be best for you. This video will show you some examples of how we have helped other children and young people. The people you will see are actors, but they are talking about real things that have happened to people that have asked us for help.
My advocate Ben contacted Help at Hand for support with where I was going to live after I turned 18. The plan was for me to stay with my foster carers, which I wanted. My social worker and the new adult social worker messed up the plan and said I had to move into a residential care home. I didn't want to do that. I wanted to stay with my foster carers. Help at Hand wrote a letter to the Leaving Care Service and adult social care team and asked them to do the right thing for me and listen to my wishes and feelings. My teachers, foster carers and advocate went to lots of meetings and eventually the services agreed funding for me to stay with my foster carers. It was such a relief.
My mum and dad asked Help at Hand to find us a new home because our house was disgusting. Our house was too small. Lot of things were broken and there was mice. I really don't like this house because I couldn't use my wheelchair to get around. Help at Hand told the people about our house and they put us at the top of the list for a new house. This means we will get a new house quickly. I'm very happy.
Someone that worked with me to make sure I am listened to asked Help at Hand for help when I was in hospital. I was in hospital because I had an injury to my brain. Help at Hand talked to me and asked me where I wanted to live when I was allowed to go home from hospital. They listened really carefully to what I wanted. I wanted to live with my aunt, but the social worker who makes decisions about where children can live said I couldn't because there was no downstairs bathroom and it wouldn't be safe for me to move around. They didn't know where to send me to live and it was taking so long to send me home from hospital. Help at Hand talked to the social worker in charge of where I was going to live and helped them to understand that living with my aunt would be the best choice. Help at Hand worked together with them to make sure my aunt's house could be made safe for me. Now I live with my aunt and I'm very happy.
Help at Hand found me a new school to go to. When I went to live with my new foster carers, I didn't go to school for ages. The school near my foster carers said they didn't have space for me. It was so boring sitting at home and I wanted to go to school and make friends. Help at Hand told the people in charge of school about what I needed to help me do well at school. Now I got a new school. My teachers are really nice and I have made friends. I am happy.
I had to move out of my foster carer's house to a new house and I didn't go to school for 5 months. Before I moved house, I went to a special school, but when I moved, They didn't give me a school. My head teacher from my online school asked Help at Hand for some help. They thought it was a new area I was living in that was stopping me finding a school. The Children's Commissioner wrote a letter to the local authorities involved so someone would have to find me a school. I was given a school place and a tutor at last. I've missed so much school, but I am catching up now, and I really like the chill-out room.
I wanted to stay at my school after I was 18. Most of my friends were going to stay there. When I turned 18, the funding for me to stay there hadn't been arranged. My social worker and the adult social work team needed to sort it out. They had to talk to another team called the SENS team at my school, but they didn't agree about where I would live, which was really annoying. The social workers said I should go to the nearest college and live in a house where carers would support me. I didn't think that would be right for me. They didn't ask me what I thought. My advocate Sue contacted Help at Hand. They wrote a letter to the local authority telling them to listen to my wishes and feelings about my life and what's best for me. They finally agreed I could stay in my school for another year with my friends and I didn't have to move house, which I was very pleased about. I'm not sure what will happen after that, and it does worry me, but I know I can contact Help at Hand to help me if I need to.
My mum rang Help at Hand and asked them for some help looking after me. I wanted to stay at home with them, but they needed a little break sometimes, so I needed someone to stay at my house and help me with my feeds and medication. Help at Hand spoke to the people in charge of care and to the boss of children's services. They found Sophie, who is a nurse, and her job is to help me with my feeds and medication and stay at my house. We also have lots of fun together. My mum and dad can now go on short breaks and not worry about me because they know Sophie is looking after me. My social worker Neil asked Help at Hand for support because I didn't get into the secondary school and I had no school to go to. I live with my grandma and she finds it difficult to take me out safely, and so I had a long time with nothing to do and nowhere to go. Help at Hand wrote lots of different letters to the people in charge of decisions about schools and found me Sarah, my advocate. Sarah actually listened to what's important to me and talked to the people in charge about what would be best for me. They found me a school near my house. Sarah also told the people in charge that they should have done things better.
I contacted Help at Hand myself because I needed their help. I was in a foster home, but I was told that I had to move to a new house and I only had one day to pack all my stuff because I had to leave the next day. My social worker didn't even come with me. I didn't know the area where the new house was, and when I got there I saw that there were stairs. I can't use stairs in my wheelchair. It was so far from where I lived before and where my college was and all my friends. I couldn't understand why they had moved me there, so I emailed Help at Hand to see if they could help me move to a new place. They helped make sure I had an independent advocate and wrote to the boss of Children's Services to tell them why I was worried and why the house I had been moved to was not okay for me. Then they moved me back to my area to a better house with no stairs.
I'm an advocate. I work with children with disabilities and people who are in care or who are leaving care. I work for children who can tell me what they want. I also work for children who can't tell me what they want. This might be because their disability stops them from being able to understand what decisions are being made about them and their lives, or it might be that they're not able to communicate their thoughts and feelings, or it might just be because they're very young. All children who are not living with their families are entitled to an advocate. Sometimes advocates need the help of Help at Hand to get the best for the children that they are working with. So one time I was helping a girl in Mina. She was really young, she had autism, she was in care and she was looked after by a foster carer, and she was really happy there. She was told that she'd had to move somewhere else, somewhere far away, and would have a new carer and a new school. And I spent some time with Amina and I spoke to the people who knew her best. And I stood up for her to say she didn't want to move and it was not the best thing for her. I was worried people were not listening, and so I went to Help at Hand for more support. And the Children's Commissioner, Dame Rachel D'Souza, wrote to the boss who had the final say. They thought again about the decision to move Amina and changed their minds and let her stay where she was. Help at Hand can be really useful in getting important people to listen.
We hope this video has helped you understand who we are and what we do. The stories in the videos are just examples of some of the work we do. We help hundreds of children each year with many different problems. Please call us, email us, or send us a message on our website if you want our help. We will be happy to help you.